everyone, it's your friend Lego Steves. Welcome to today's episode of Building Hoth Week 20. I can't believe this is actually Week 20 of the building series. But guys, we did some work that I told you guys that I wouldn't do until I got these 6x6 plates in, and that is the Crash Snowspeeder. I mentioned that I wasn't going to put it or start working on that until I got those plates, and I didn't get it basically until I built a third Snowspeeder. I almost said second. But I realized this week, I'm like, I really want to crash the Snowspeeder for fun. So that's what I did. It's crashed. I think it turned out really well. I've also got some great news that I'll mention later in the video, and I'm hoping you guys will enjoy this segment. I think you guys are going to like the Crash Snowspeeder, so let's get right into the segment. Okay guys, so starting off this segment, I'm going to be showing you guys and basically telling you the great news that I mentioned in the intro. But I want to explain why these parts are here. These are the parts that I did have to take off of the Snowspeeder that it allowed me to have it sit in place. So these are basically the front plates, which are right here. These of course are the front part of the cannon. These are from the side of the cannon, and then this is just the little orange piece right there. So those are a few of the parts I did have to take off just because it wouldn't allow me to fit it, and some did. So like a few of these, if I basically shortened it, it would have fit, but I just took them off completely because you can't see it, and I'll show you guys what I mean, that you can't see it. And I think the Snowspeeder, or the Crash Snowspeeder, looks fantastic. I know I mentioned I wasn't going to be doing it until I got the 6x6 plates, and as well as building a new Snowspeeder. Well, the reason why I ended up deciding on that is I wanted to get it in. I wanted to place it. I know last week I mentioned that I'm like, okay, I need to move the area that I wanted to be crashed over a bit because I thought it was too close to the mountain. And I did that. I actually did it remarkably farther than where it originally was, and a bit lower, or at least closer to this area of the front area, less in the back. I do want to mention this quick. Again, I got some great news. I guess bad news for first. One is I know I mentioned last week's segment that I would buy the 6x6 plates before this segment. The reason why I ended up not doing it, I haven't purchased it yet, is a few reasons, which I'll explain in a second. I do want to mention that the first order, the order of 35 parts, that is already on its way. I got a notification the other day saying it was shipped. So it is coming, so hopefully I'll be able to get that in the next couple days. So I'm excited for that. I also do want to mention that I also bought something other related to Lego that isn't parts or anything like that, but it's figures. So my friend Matt, or the Brick Whiz, if you guys know him as that, we got to talking, and I mentioned to him, I'm like, I need to get some more figures. The sad thing is the new Snow Trooper, or the newer version of the Hoth Snow Trooper, this guy right here, they're pretty expensive. I found them on eBay and all that for almost $20 a piece, which is pretty insane. I've found some for lower and all that. I've seen the Snow Troopers go for like $10, but even though pretty expensive, and as much as I need them, I'm trying to look for deals. But Matt, or the Brick Whiz, he basically said, hey, let me go through my collection. I have a decent amount of the Hoth Snow Troopers and Hoth Rebels. And I said, okay, that would be great. And he went through his collection, pulled out 3 Hoth Rebels, and then like 8 Snow Troopers, which I'm pretty happy about that. He said that, let me look at the prices and all that, let me see what the normal range would be, and I can probably give you a good deal. And I think it did come out to be a good deal. It ended up costing about $42. I know that might sound much for 11 figures, but the truth is that these guys are actually pretty expensive on eBay, and I don't understand why. They are cool figures, don't get me wrong, and it's got the full figure set, so it's got the backpack and all that. But I actually bought that last night, Thursday night. And he said he was going to ship it today, which the day of recording is Friday. So he said he was going to ship it Friday morning. And we got in call. The way we did it was I bought it off his Bricklink store. He said, what I'm going to do is he asked if we could just do it on that, because originally I was just going to PayPal him the money. But he asked, would you mind if I put it on my Bricklink store, you buy it from there, that way I get good recommendations and all that, and good feedback and all that. And I'm like, that works with me, I'm fine. So I went to his Bricklink store, he and I got in a call, and he told me it was up. I refreshed the page, there it was, picked out the figures, bought it, and I'm pretty happy. I'm excited to get figures. I know it isn't the biggest deal, but I do need figures. Again, there's about 8 of these snowtroopers, of the newer ones, so I'm excited to get those in, because I of course need the figures for Hoth. Now, the great news, well, I'm going to say great news, is that if you guys remember, I've mentioned many times I've been trying to get a job, and I've been trying to get a job at Walmart, my local Walmart, and I officially, since Monday, this past Monday, I have been hired at my local Walmart. So I now have a job there. I'm so excited to actually start working there this Saturday, the day of this video going up. And by the time you guys are probably seeing this video out tomorrow on Saturday, I'll be at work. So I'm excited. I know you might be saying, "Oh, congratulations," but what does that do for the channel and all that? What that does is that means I'm going to be getting paid on a regular basis. I'm going to be able to buy parts more frequently than what I have recently been doing. So, like, I know I've been only recently buying, like, parts once a month, maybe twice a month at most. Now I should be able to do it a bit more frequently and in a bit more bulks, which makes me happy because that means this should go by fast. And that's also a reason why I wasn't able to buy the 6x6 plates, is because I needed to get some supplies for my new job. I had to get me some new clothes, some new pants, basically the Walmart works, and some new shoes. So I did need to spend some money on that. I also bought a really cool poster that isn't LEGO related or Walmart related. It's actually right there. It's actually going to be hung on that wall right there, which you'll see in the next segment or so, which doesn't mess with anything. But basically, I had to buy some stuff that were necessity to this job, and I'm pretty excited to start working again. Being I'm starting working, I'll be able to get more paid on a regular basis, and I'll be able to buy parts, and those parts will continue to work on Hoth, and you guys will get to enjoy the segments a bit more. As well as being I have this job, I am able to buy the walkers a bit more closer than originally planned. I don't know when I'm going to buy it, but when I start getting paid, I'm going to start saving up for that walker. So now all that is out and about, and that's over, I can show you guys what the real progress of this week was. And here is the crashed Snowspeeder. Let me move Mr. Snowtrooper right there. This is the crashed Snowspeeder. It is not complete at all. Well, not at all, but it's not complete yet. I still need to, of course, switch this out with the orange stripes. And, of course, this windshield needs to be turned to the darker translucent clear. And I also want to make a blaster mark, basically where the AT-AT shot it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it right here, so this engine was shot and exploded. I'm going to basically mess with it to make it look like it was shot, as well as I'm going to have a bit of fire there, basically showing that it's crashed and it was shot. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how this came out. Now, I know you can say that there's gray right here, and these two slots are missing. That is just because filler. Because underneath all these plates and all that, it's actually a bunch of wing plates, so it can actually fit. At the moment, I can't really move this because it's actually stuck in. Because I had to make it so, one, this wouldn't flop around in that slot, and two, it's put in place. It's put in place, and the wings the wing plates and all that help it, or the wedge plates. It really helps it, and I was able to basically build this up with some more plates. Now, again, the sides of the gray, that is not going to stay. That was basically filler because there was a 3 slot right here that was missing, and I didn't have any in white, and so I was like, okay, let's just put it in gray. That will be covered later on. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how the detail came out on the actual look of the crashed Snowspeeder. Now, it, of course, is not done, like I mentioned. I still need to add a bit more detail, especially on these sides. The front end is actually supposed to be a bit higher than the back because, of course, it's digging through the ground. It's pushing more ground above. Now, as you can also see, I, of course, moved the Snowspeeder far ways from where I originally had it. So, this is where I originally had it, in this area. Then I moved it because of the mountain. And I realized, I'm like, okay, I need to move this a bit more. It's too close to the mountain, in my opinion. And originally it was going to go here, but I put it there, and I'm like, this does not look good. Let's move it farther. And I ended up putting it right here. Now, it does not affect at all with these 6x6 plates. It works well. All I have to do, especially like right here, lift this plate up, put one right there, and I can continue on. So it does not affect with any other plates that I will be using to finish it. Again, I think it looks so great next to like the rest of the look of Hoth. Like, I like how that looks. Again, the snow drifts and all that around it, it's going to be covered a bit more and a bit more nicely. But at the moment, I think it looks great. I think even the back, which I can show you guys right now. Well, here, I'm going to pause the recording so I can show you guys the back of the actual. Okay, so this is a bit awkward positioning for the camera and myself, but I did want to show you guys the back of it. I basically put the 1x4 wedge plate right here. That way it like covers it and holds it basically so it can't move. And it also looks like it doesn't, it looks like it literally crashed right there. And I will add a bit more detail between this, especially around the side. That way it looks a bit more complete. I also, of course, need these 6x6 plates to fill right here, over there. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how the angles and basically the snowdrift looks at the moment. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it as well. I know that I mentioned that basically I wasn't planning on doing this until later down the road when I got the 6x6 plates and the other Snowspeeder built. But I'm pretty happy I did this now. And also a pretty cool thing I have right here, basically to make this angle right here, it's actually just held in place right here. This is how I built it. It's held between this brick right here and the windshield of the Snowspeeder, and it just sits right in. And I'm pretty happy with that. And I really like how it looks. Again, compared with all the mock and all that, I think it looks so cool. We got the mountain there, we have the trench, we have that little divot right there, we have the other Snowspeeder, and then we have, of course, the crashed Snowspeeder. I can't wait to order the 6x6 plates. That should be able to come in the week or two, hopefully, if I can order it. But I'm pretty happy. I can't wait to fill this in. It's just looking a lot more complete now. I can't stress how cool that is. And as you can see, the reasons why I couldn't, of course, keep the parts in that are right there, of course, is because it would not fit. It is held into the ground. It's at an angle. I can't figure out what kind of angle it is, but it is at an angle, so I had to basically switch it around. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I like the rivets of snow at the moment. Again, I will end up adding a bit more detail in later comings of the future segments. So I'm pretty happy with how this segment came out. Again, I didn't mess with the mountain too much. Basically, it's still the same. I'm hopefully going to be adding some more maybe later this week, and I'll probably work some more on that. So, like I mentioned before, the first order parts is shipped. It is coming. Again, I have figures coming in from BrickWiz. I can't wait to get those in, and as well as thank you to him for selling them to me for a great price. So I think that's going to be it. Hope you all enjoyed this week's segment. Let me know in the comments if you did, as well as if you enjoyed, definitely hit that like button, as well as if you're add-on new to this channel, definitely think about subscribing. And I will see you guys in next week's segment. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.